human environment in this settlement. Then you have transport and communication. And communication. So, okay. So, we were discussing about transports, right? So, in transports, if you see, we were the last topic was airways. So, we already discussed that in airways, if you see, it is the fastest mean of transport, but it is very expensive. Now, you people need to tell me why it is expensive. Basically, it is expensive because of the fuel used in that ways, in the aeroplanes. Okay, so I asked you last time, what is the fuel used in aeroplanes? Okay, I don't know if anyone remembers that. What is the fuel used in aeroplanes? So the fuel which is used in the aeroplanes, that is a kind of refined, processed fuel which comes from petroleum, but it is processed and it is expensive. Understood? And that is why if you travel from airways, it is expensive. Okay, expensive and fastest mean of transportation. Understood? Now, if you see, the aeroplanes, where it moves in the sky, on the high. So, what can affect the traffic of the airways? So, if you see, when you move on the road, we have a lot of traffic. There you will see many of the vehicles and all. So, we have traffic light also to manage all those things. But in airways, if you see, in air traffic, we don't have such kind of traffic in the airways. But still, there are some weather phenomena which affects the traffic, air traffic. So, what are the weather phenomena? If you have bad weather, like you have storm. So that can affect the air traffic. Understood? So if there will be storm, so the traffic can be affected. Okay. Also, if you see, when we talk about airways, what are the benefits? Till now we discussed that it is expensive, and for that everyone like cannot use that. So they go to other means of transport to save money. But what are the benefits if you see? So benefits are, it is helpful in reaching remote and distant areas. Remote and distant areas. Also useful to reach most inaccessible areas in time of calamities, if there is natural calamities. Okay. Now, if you see, in airways, when we say, we don't only have aeroplane, we also have helicopters, right? Now, if there is an emergency, a natural calamity, in that time, if you see, suppose there is flood, so in that case, the whole area is flood, everywhere you have water. In that case, you cannot just go by the road. You cannot just take vehicle and go in that flood. That is not possible. So how are you going to reach that place? Obviously, you will take the help of helicopter. Understood? So by helicopter, the rescue missions are done in the time of natural calamity, when the other vehicles cannot reach that place or reach that area. Understood? Now, if there is very remote area, like if you go to Ladakh, there are mountain areas. So, sometimes it is covered with snow. It is fully covered with snow. So, in that time, it is very difficult. It is inaccessible. That means you cannot go there. You cannot reach there by road. Everything will be blocked with ice, with snow. Understood? In that situation, you can take help of a helicopter and all. Understood? Airways. So that time airways can help you and you can reach those inaccessible places. Understood? So basically this is done. Understood? So like this, if you see, to reach distant areas or to do rescue missions in the time of calamity, these airways are very, very helpful. Okay. Now, if there is rescue missions, you need to distribute food, water, medicines, clothes to the people. So that is basically done by the helicopters. Okay. We will discuss some of the important airports. So some of the important airports are Delhi, Mumbai. So Delhi, Mumbai, this will be domestic airports. Domestic means which runs inside the country, and then we have international, which are international. That means you have in the foreign. Understood? In another countries. So in that we have, these will be domestic airports. Then we have New York. Then you have London. Then you have Paris. Then you have Frankfurt, and then Cairo. So these are some of the important airports, and we have many more. Understood? These are some of the examples. So till now, anyone, any question? Be quick. Anyways, we are having a lot of problems today. I don't know what is answer. Any question, anyone? Be quick. Now we have completed settlement. So we discussed how early people settled. Right? Early people were earlier nomads. They used to move one place to another. Then how they built houses, which kind of houses they built, and basically the houses were made as per their need. Right? So as per their need, they built the houses. As per their financial status, they built the houses. So like as houses were built and settlement was done. Then came transport. If someone settled at one place, they need to move one place to another, no? So that they can, for education purpose, for job purpose, to meet their relatives, they need to move one place to another. In that case, we need transportation. So we have discussed transportation also, various means of transportation. Now, communication. It is not every time possible for you to go and meet your relative. Right? Every time it is not possible to go and meet your relative. So many of the things can be done by the means of communication. Now the thing is, what is communication? Understood? So what is communication? So the process of conveying messages, conveying messages to others is called communication. The process of conveying messages to others is called communication. So, do you think we are communicating now? Yes, we are communicating. Understood? And we have, like I am having laptop, you are having your mobile phones. So those are the means of communication. Understood? We are communicating with the help of some mode of communication. Understood? Now if you see, in early time, if you see, in early time, the people were not having any language, any script. The people were not having language or script. So that time they were using sign languages and all so that they can communicate. Okay, with the help of body movement, they used to, with the help of sign, they used to communicate. Then if you see, after that, birds like pigeons and all, they have had been used as the messenger. Messages were written on the paper, and that was tied in the foot of birds. So, and that bird used to go and deliver the message. Like that, messages were delivered. Understood? Then, after this, there was development, and after development, what happened? Postman and all came. Right? There were postmen, post offices were set up. Post offices were set up, postmen were there, people used to write the letters and they used to put in the letter box. Understood? Now postman will come, they will take the letter, and like that he used to go from one place to another. Understood? So after that this was done. But if you see, if you want to send a letter to your friend, if someone has any emergency, someone died in the family and the family members need to be called for that. So in that case, if you see, it was very time taking to call the people, because the letters used to take a lot of time to travel. Suppose if you send letter from Bihar to Kerala in South or Karnataka. Understood? In that case, first you will drop it, then postman will take it, then by the van it will go. So whatever time it will take in the roadways, it will be delivered, and then if you see there, it will be again taken by the postman and it will be given to the house. So like that, it used to take a lot of time to reach. Understood? So in case of emergency, it was very difficult to send the message. But still there was no option. So it was better than earlier. But again the development happened, updation happened, and with that, if you see, newspapers came. Now, if anyone wants to give anyone wants to give information to mass community, like big, all of the people. At that time, if you see, by in the newspaper, if you publish, many people will read it. Right? You are sending information through newspaper to not only one or two people or a family. You are in fact sending message to a big crowd. Right? So this came into mass media. That means you are sending a message to a big crowd, not only one or two person. Understood? So from here you see the mass media started. That means giving information to a public. giving information to public, not one person or one family. Understood? Giving information to public, that is mass media. So from newspaper it started, then you see again developed, television came, then Doordarshan came, right? Radio came, radio channels, Doordarshan was there on the radio also, so people used to listen news on radio, on TV, television, Doordarshan. So like that if you see, again it developed, right? Then if you compare it now, if you see now, what do you find? Now if you see, you have many news channels, right? Many news channels, many news channels. Then if you see, you have internet, then you have Google, where you can get all information, almost all information you can get on Google. But if you see today what happens, you people are taking, if you want to see any video related to any topic, you have various videos. Many of the videos you are having, you can just go, you can search and you can see any video related to your education, right? So getting knowledge now is easier. If the same way Google, if you have any problem, you just go to Google and you search and you find the solution. But ask your parents, not more than 10 years ago. Not more than 10 years ago. That means ask them, how was the scenario before 10 years ago, or take it 20 years. Okay, 20 years ago. How was it same? Your parents will tell you. So it was not same. 20 years ago, the Google was not accessible for everyone. Everyone was not having mobile phones. Now if you see, you have mobile phones more than the member of family. If you have 5 members, you have 6, 7 mobile phones. So like this, now if you see, there is no need of wireless mobiles are there. You can take anywhere, you can just communicate anytime, right? So like this, if you see, if you compare this, you will see advancement in the field of communication. Right? So here you will see advancement in the field of communication. So we have discussed the story from early time till now. What is till now? And for better understanding, you just ask your parents also, what was the scenario 20 years ago? You will find there was no mobile phones. There was a one telephone which was not in every house. One telephone not in every house. That was wired telephone people used. You cannot carry that one place to another. At one place it was there set up, and after that the people can use. And also very important, emergency if there is, then only the communication was done. Why? Because the charges were very high. Today you get unlimited packs. You can just talk whole day with some fixed amount of money. But that time, talking for 1 or 2 minutes used to charge 100, 200, like that. Understood? So it was very expensive. So everyone was not able to afford that. So like this, if you see, there is advancement in the field of communication. Any question till now? Anyone? Any question? Okay, fine. So what are the advancement which has been done in the field of the communication? That we will understand. Okay. So advancement is information revolution. It is information revolution. How information revolution? As I told earlier, to give very important information also, it used to take a lot of time, a lot of money. Right? It was expensive to deliver the messages. Right? When we take phone 20 years, 25 years ago, it used to charge hundreds of rupees for 1 minute or some seconds. Understood? 1 meter was connected with the telephones, and as it will you will talk your how much money it is you need to pay, that will be shown with the minute, with the second. So like this it was there, it was expensive to communicate that time. But now if you see, you can give as many information you want. Facebook, WhatsApp, many kind of social sites are there. Google is there, which gives you all the informations whatever you need. You can talk for hours and hours in some fixed amount. So like this, there is information revolution. Understood? So you can connect to mass media, that I told, giving information to public. Many news channels, Google is also not only giving you information, right? It is giving information to public, a very big public, right? Now next is, there is advancement happened. So information revolution came because now information, it is very easy to deliver information to mass media. Now you have role of satellites. Why? How is this possible? Now we will understand how is this possible. So this is possible because of the satellites and internet in the communication. Okay. So how this development happened? This basically happened because of the satellite and internet. Right? And internet cannot work without satellite. Right? So development of satellite is is the main thing which made possible all the advanced form of communication. Understood? Any question till now? We will discuss it tomorrow. Okay, whatever we have, we will discuss in our next class. If you have any question, you may ask. In next class, we will almost complete this chapter. We will complete this chapter in next class. Okay, thank you everyone.